I've already addressed all the employees and introduced you. They already remember you. So you can start the session, doctor.
All right. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to this, session on strategies to reduce sugar. It's a very interesting topic, and thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule to, know a little more about this. So, without further ado, I would like to start. So, we have a lot of misconceptions also regarding sugar, and we'll try to, as much as possible, try and decipher this in today's times. Just to give you a perspective of how the session is going to be, we would be talking about different sugars, how to identify harmful ones, how to tame sugar, some mindful tips, and some healthy recipes also for sweets. So, when we talk about sugar, I want to tell you that sugar is a type of carb, right? It's a carbohydrate, and you should know a little more about your carbs. These days, carbs are projected in the wrong way. So, carbs provide a lot of energy. The principal function is to provide energy to the body. And whatever we eat is finally broken down to simple glucose, as glucose is the sole source of energy for your brain and central nervous system. So when we whatever we eat, the brain does not recognize anything except glucose. So there are different pathways or chemical reactions in our body which break it down for the accumulation of sugar, and this glucose is then accessed to the brain and central nervous system. Now, when we talk about carbs, there are simple carbs and complex carbs. Now, what are simple carbs? These are present in foods such as fruits, milk, vegetables, which means they get digested and absorbed very fast. All right. Now, we tell people to restrict some simple carbohydrates like cake or candy or other refined sugar products, because they are also providing simple sugar, but they only provide energy, which means they are providing only calories, but they completely lack vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So, simple carbohydrates coming from milk or dairy, vegetables, fruits is fine because of the fiber content, and we'll also discuss more about fiber. Now, coming to the complex carbohydrates provide vitamins, minerals, fiber, and these are foods coming from wheat and wheat products. They are coming from rice and rice products. They are coming from different kind of millets. The Indian government is doing a lot these days to promote millets. So you could probably choose any millet that you are familiar with, whether it is ragi or jawar or bajra, or now you're getting smaller millets like foxtail, kodo, barnyard. So you can pick up any millets that you are familiar with, and they provide you complex carbohydrates, meaning they contain good amount of fiber, and that is why they are digested and absorbed a little slower than the simple carbohydrates. So they add to a lot of, they add fullness to the diet. You feel fuller for a longer time by eating complex carbohydrates. And fiber is the undigested part of the carbohydrate. Our digestive enzymes are unable to break down the fiber, so the fiber is not really absorbed. It is not used as energy. It has to be ultimately excreted out of our body. But fiber does a lot of good. The benefits of fiber is it relieves you from constipation. People who consume a lot of fiber, because it has to be excreted out of the body, it stays in the intestinal tract for a very short time. So it relieves a person from being constipated. So it also keeps your colon and your digestive or your gut health better. There are a lot of studies to prove that people who are on a high fiber diet, a vegetarian diet, have lesser risk for colorectal cancer. Now, like I had explained you earlier also, that people who tend to eat more fiber, it gets digested and absorbed slowly, so it does not peak the blood glucose. So people who are having any other metabolic problems like pre-diabetes or diabetes, for them, it also, these foods are lower in glycemic index. You would have probably heard this term. Glycemic index means that how fast the food peaks the blood glucose in your body. The ability of your food to do that as compared to sugar. So normally we ask people to avoid high glycemic foods and prefer low glycemic foods. So these fiber-rich food automatically come under the category of low glycemic index. It also is very beneficial to heart health because while getting excreted out of the body, the fiber gets attached to some amount of cholesterol as well. So it has a benefit of removing the additional cholesterol from the body. So that's how it is also beneficial to a heart health. And also that's one of the reasons why you will realize that people who consume a high fiber diet, they can also, it's beneficial in weight management because the foods which are high in fiber are not generally very high in calories or energy. So you have the sources of fiber coming from whole cereal grains where the bran is intact. So when we say, for example, we say rice, then instead of having white rice, if you have unpolished version of rice, or if you are having brown rice, that is much better because the fiber is more intact. Apart from that, wheat and wheat products or millets, they contain good amount of fiber. Pulses, legumes, lentils, all your dals, your chana, chola, rajma, soy products, they are all good sources of fiber. Again, fruits and vegetables are good sources of fiber. So we ask people to not drink a fruit, but eat a fruit. So don't have fruit juice because the fiber content is lost. Plus, to make a glass of fruit juice, you will require 3 to 4 fruits crushed together. So that is one thing that we tell people, that eat good amount of fruits and vegetables. The WHO guidelines tells us that it is at least 3 to 5 helpings of fruit and vegetables on a daily basis, which can be easily met if you're having a good amount of vegetable salads for your lunch and dinner and have at least one fruit every day. Now, why the sugar caution is because it increases the blood glucose that leads to insulin resistance. Insulin is a hormone which is produced by our pancreas, and that is needed to keep the blood glucose under control. So if you're having excessive weight gain, that also leads to insulin resistance. So sugar causes a lot of inflammation, and there is always a risk to weight gain and visceral fat accumulation, especially around your waist and hips. Sugar also can be very, very addictive, meaning you eat sugar, it suddenly gives you a feeling of euphoria. And because the insulin is then produced thinking that it should control the blood glucose, there is a crash in energy. So there is a temporary sugar rush followed by a crash in energy. And then once the energy is down, you again start having sugar craving. So it's like a yo-yo effect. Now you have to differentiate between the good and the bad sugar. So the good sugar comes from, like I said, fruits, organic jaggery, stevia-based artificial sweeteners. It comes from dry fruits like your black raisins, dates, figs, apricots, etc. It also comes from spices like your cinnamon, nutmeg. They have innate amount of sugar. Now, the bad sugar is your white sugar or brown sugar. They have different names of sugars. We'll come to that later. Aerated drinks, biscuits, bakery items, maple syrup, all of that contain a good amount of sugar. So since our topic here is tips to reduce sugar, let me begin by telling you, try to cut down on sugary drinks. Most of the added sugars in the Indian diet come from sugary drinks. There is a lot of research to prove that Indians have at least 4 to 5 cups of tea or coffee on a daily basis. And even if you're putting, say, 2 teaspoons of sugar in each, then without you doing anything, you are eating about 8 to 10 teaspoons of sugar. So try to cut down on sugar. Again, additionally, drinks, that many people perceive as healthy, like smoothies, fruit juices, can also have astounding amounts of added sugar. Again, your body does not recognize the calories from drinks in the same way that is recognized from food. So the calories from these drinks are absorbed very quickly, increasing in a rapid level of your blood sugars. So try to cut down on your sugary drinks. Second is try avoiding sugary desserts. Most of the desserts do not provide much in the way of nutritional value. They are loaded with sugar that causes sugar levels to blood sugar to spike. That can leave you also very tired and hungry, crave for more sugars. Again, any kind of our Indian sweets also, they contain a lot of fat. Now, for example, your gulab jamun is made out of khoa, which is a lot of saturated fat. Then it is deep fried. Then it is put in a sugary based syrup. So you can imagine the amount of fat and sugar even in a small portion size. And grain and dairy based desserts such as cakes, pies, donuts, ice cream amount for more than 18% of the intake of added sugar in your diet. So as much as possible, you can try and avoid sugary desserts. Again, understand that sugar not just comes from the added sugar, but it also is hidden. And sometimes it is hidden in sauces. Sauces like ketchup, barbecue sauce, spaghetti sauce, your sweet chili sauce are very common place in most of the kitchens. However, most people aren't aware of the sugar content. 1 tablespoon serving of ketchup contains at least around 1 teaspoon, that is 5 grams of sugar, which means the ketchup is a whooping 29% sugar, which is more sugary than even ice cream. So without we realizing, we eat a lot of sauces along with our food, not realizing the amount of sugar that product contains. Again, be very careful with healthy processed snack foods. So some processed snack foods have like a healthy halo, right? They seem very healthy at the first glance, and the words wholesome or natural may be used in their marketing to make them seem very healthier than they are actually are. So surprisingly, many of these snacks, like you have granola bars, protein bars, dried fruit, can contain just as much as sugar as your chocolate and candy bars. Dry fruit is a great example. It is full of fiber, nutrients, antioxidants. However, at times, it also contains concentrated amount of natural sugar, and some versions like you have candied or additional added sugar. Sometimes you have barbecued dry fruits and things like that. So in your mind, you might be thinking that you are having dry fruits and or dried fruit, which is very healthy, but it contains a lot of sugar. So be a little mindful about that. Coming to breakfast foods. Now, most of the times we are looking for solutions and we eat a lot of ultra processed foods. Ultra processed foods are foods where 3 to 5 ingredients are not really there in our kitchen, like added sugar, added colors, preservatives, and but in a rush to consume breakfast and not to miss breakfast, we consume a lot of breakfast cereals. Now, breakfast cereals can be loaded with added sugar. One report found that some of the most popular ones contained more than half their weight in added sugar. One cereal in the report contained more than 12 teaspoons, that is 50 grams of sugar per serving, making it 88% sugar by weight. One report also found that granola, which is usually marketed as healthy food, has more sugar than any other type of cereal on average. Most popular breakfast foods like pancakes, waffles, muffins, jams are loaded with sugar. So use products with a little caution, considering that we need to balance out carbs. Consider eating more protein. A high sugar intake can be linked to increased appetite and weight gain. But a diet which is low in added sugar but high on protein and fiber will have just the opposite effect, reducing hunger and promoting fullness. Protein has also been shown to directly reduce food cravings. One study found that increasing protein in the diet by 25% reduced craving by more than 60%. So to curb sugar cravings, stock up protein-rich whole foods such as meats, fish, egg, full-fat dairy products, avocados, nuts. Automatically, when you're eating some protein along with your meals, you feel more full. Protein takes a longer time to get digested and absorbed, so you feel full for a little longer time. I'm Bangalore based, and here they consume a lot of rice-based products for breakfast. Now, suppose if you're just consuming idli or dosa, you can have 3, 4 dosas. But if you're having a dosa and in the batter, you have added some vegetables like maybe onion or grated carrot, made some uttapam, had a big bowl of sambar, automatically, even with 2 uttapams, you will feel full, and you will feel full for a little longer period of time. And that's precisely what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes the food choices are also such that we are very high. The Indian diet is very high on carbs, and we completely miss taking some protein. The classic example I can give you is maybe when you have bread and jam for your breakfast, then there is absolutely no protein that you are having until and unless you maybe have an egg. So simple ways of including protein in your meals is maybe for your breakfast, have an egg, include some sprouts, maybe have some nut butter, which is, I mean, choose your nut butter, which does not have added sugar, a glass of milk, which is either soy milk or almond milk. In snacks, have full fat Greek yogurt, soy milk. You can have some seeds. For lunch and dinner, your vegetarian choices for protein could be plant-based protein coming from pulses, legumes, lentils, any kind of dal that you can choose. It could be tur dal, moong dal, masoor dal, kali dal. It can be chana, chola, rajma. It can be sprouts. So choose your protein properly. You can use now a lot of soy protein is also marketed very well. So you can have soya beans, soya chunks, soya nuggets, tofu. You can have lean type of meat, that is, you can have chicken without the skin, you can have fish, and that gives you a very good amount of protein. Again, try to switch to natural 0-calorie sweeteners. Now, there are several artificial sweeteners on the market that are totally free of sugar and calories such as sucralose and aspartame. Um, Now there are continuous studies being going on. Artificial sweeteners could be linked to some kind of imbalances in the gut bacteria that can lead to poor blood glucose control, increased food cravings, and weight gain. So at times it is advisable to avoid artificial sweeteners too. But as a habit change, now suddenly, you have realized that you have diabetes, and just from tomorrow, somebody tells you to immediately change your beverage from sugar based, I mean, tea containing sugar to a sugarless tea. It will be very difficult for you to do. So, as a bridge to kind of, accept that eventually you might have to give up sugar, we do recommend artificial sweeteners, and they come in the GRAS category. GRAS is an acronym, which is like GRAS is generally recognized as safe. So if you're using artificial sweeteners in very limited amounts, maybe, just a sachet or two for the entire day, or 4 or 5 of these pellets for the entire day, it's absolutely safe. But don't overdo it. When I say overdoing, many people use artificial sweeteners very, very liberally, and then they'll try and take diet coke, or they will always look out for things which have artificial sweeteners. So don't have to do that. Again, there are other natural zero calorie sweeteners which also are promising. That is stevia. It gets marketed as Splenda, erythritol, monk fruit, and allulose. So you can choose artificial sweeteners because they are non-caloric. So sometimes when you want to drink your beverage and you want it sweetened, you could put artificial sweeteners. Now, some mindfulness tips, because I was talking so much about different types of sugar. Food manufacturers are, there is FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. It is a mandate that food manufacturers are now required to disclose added sugars on food labels. You will see added sugars listed under total carbs on foods that contain them. However, there are more than maybe 50 names to added sugars on the food labels, which make it very difficult to spot. So if it says high fructose corn syrup, or cane sugar, or cane juice, or maltose, dextrose, fructose, inverted corn syrup, or rice syrup, or maple syrup, caramel, you have to understand that this is sugar. So please read your labels very carefully. There is also a section which says natural sugars, and which means the product already contains natural amount of sugars, and they have to write added sugars. So if you think that per serving the added sugar is quite a bit, then you try to bring in or look out for a product which is not containing any kind of added sugar. Limiting items with high sugar content in the house. This is really very important, because out of sight is out of mind. Most of the times I see that if you keep some high sugar foods in the house, like maybe some chocolates or some peda, mithai, then you're just more likely to eat them, because it takes a lot of your willpower to stop yourself if you have to really, go to the open the fridge but not eat it. So best is to limit these items at home. Again, you buy small portions only during some kind of occasions or events. Most of the times people are these days also working from home. So, instead of having any kind of unhealthy snacks, kept at home, you swap that with healthier options, and that will be much better. Again, when you have food cravings or sweet cravings, try to distract yourself for some time. Maybe speak to a friend when if you're very stressed. Maybe just take a little time out, go for a walk, listen to music. All this is really, helpful for or very effective for reducing cravings. If that does not work and you still feel like eating something, then you give in something which is more like a healthier option. Maybe have a bowl of, say, watermelon, or you can have dry fruits, like maybe, you can have dates or raisins or apricots. These are sweet, so you can munch on these snacks, and that will be a much better and a sensible thing to do. So, second tip that I would like to give is try and limit items with high sugar content. Automatically, you will realize that you can do without them. Many of the times, it becomes like an unconscious habit for us that after every meal, we are looking for something, to just add on, like a piece of a laddu or a mithai or a chikki, something like that. So if you don't keep these things, automatically you lose that, or you can easily give up that thought of eating something sweet. Since we were talking about snacks, you can always have smarter snack options in your habit change process. Think that how I can, in the evening, when we are having any kind of we have urge to eat something sweet or something junk, then how you can change an unhealthy option into a healthier one. So you can grab a protein and a fibrous snack, maybe some roasted chickpeas with some peanuts, or some roasted chanas, some roasted makhanas. You can have a healthy dry bhel. You can have boiled corn. Corn is very available now in this season. You can either have it as a roasted corn bhutta, or you can have boiled corn. You can have some wheat crackers with a lot of, you can make a lot of dips these days, like hummus, or hung curd, or from avocado. You can just mash avocado and that put some spices, and that is also called as guacamole. So you can have these done at home. So it provides you a healthier option and a healthier variety. And these you can eat even with vegetable sticks. So that's a smart option to think about. You need not always have something deep fried or always have something as junk. Now we all are humans and we do want to eat our sweets. But nowadays you will see that in restaurants, especially in buffets, I have seen that they are providing very small bites so that people can just check, and that helps. So you can try to pick up small helpings. You can check the portion size and eat smaller portions of that, so that you're not ultimately depriving yourself. You don't have a very negative relationship with food. So that really helps in your journey of being healthy. You're not depriving, but you're just tasting something, and be done with it. So making or picking small helpings will also be very helpful for you, so that psychologically you are in tune with that. You are doing some kind of mindful eating out there. Practice healthy cooking. It makes a lot of difference. I know it takes a little efforts, but it's absolutely worth it, trying to make your favorite dishes healthier. When you're making things at home, you can play around. You can definitely compensate with sugar, with the fat content. So you can, make your own cakes. You can, instead of putting maida, you can put a whole wheat flour. You can choose a better fat. You can lower the sugar. Instead of sugar, you can use a little jaggery. You can completely stop that and use dates instead. So you can play around with, sugar and the fat. Maybe some low fat custard. with a lot of fruits. So you're not deprived, and you can make your celebrations also better that way. There are now seasons where you keep on wanting to, or having the need to eat sweets, and that can be done like this. Um, well, here I would say that tame your stress also, because when you are stressed, and that can lead to emotional eating, or what we call as stress eating. Try any kind of stress management techniques such as yoga, meditation, deep breathing. All these help. Instead of maybe snacking when you're stressed, distract yourself, because craving happens for some seconds. You can substitute that with a healthy behavior. Take a walk, maybe watch a movie, play with your pets, listen to music, surf the net, take a little time out. Even deep breathing helps. Deep breathing techniques help. Doing a little bit of meditation help. I guess, all of you have the CultFit app. Please, I would request you to utilize that more. You have beautiful yoga sessions. There is a lot on meditation, deep breathing techniques, and I've personally used that. It helps a lot. So try your best to tame your stress. Try to get enough sleep. Now, good sleep habits are extremely important, and I guess I had taken a complete session on sleep earlier. Poor sleep can be linked with depression, poor concentration, reduced immune function, and obesity. However, lack of sleep also affects the different types of food you eat. The more you are awake in the night, the more you feel like ordering. And thanks to all the online platforms providing you food at your doorstep right till 3 a.m. in the morning, it has completely changed your eating behavior. And mostly in the night, you're always predisposed. Your choices are more towards foods which are higher in sugar, fat, salt, and calories. So ensure that you are taking, you're sleeping early, so that most of the times, at least 90% of the times, if you're sleeping in time, you are not overeating. And one study found that people who went to bed late and didn't get a full night's sleep consumed more calories, fast food, and soda, very fewer portions of fruits and vegetables than those people who went to bed earlier and got a full night's sleep. Coming to healthier recipes, simple things that you can do at home. You can make crunchy date laddus. You can have powdered and roasted oats, half a cup. You can keep half a cup of roasted poha powder. You can put some sattu, that is your gram flour. You can have dates. You can have a little organic peanut butter. You can put nuts and seeds of your choice. Here we've put some almonds, walnuts, watermelon seeds, chia seeds, a little cold pressed oil, cocoa powder, and salt. So you can roast your oats and poha powder separately and powder them in the blender. Add all the remaining ingredients and roll it into small balls, and store it in a airtight container in the fridge. In the fridge, it will nicely solidify, and this remains pretty much like for a week. So you can, whenever you feel low on energy, or this also acts as a good pre-workout snack. So you can, eat those on a regular basis. Other one is a kheer. We normally these days, this is a time that we make a lot of prasad, and I thought maybe this could be useful. You take about 1.5 cup of sweet organic A2 milk. You can have 1 cup of roasted makhanas, which is fox nuts. You can put 1 teaspoon of saffron strands, about 3 tablespoons of any kind of chopped nuts that you may have in the house. Put about 2 teaspoons of pumpkin seeds, and a tablespoon of jaggery powder and 4-5 strands of saffron. So here you probably heat the milk nicely. Once the milk starts boiling, then you can put some saffron strands so that it gives you a nice color. Then you could add makhanas. Let it have a nice boil so that the makhanas swell up. Then you can add your nuts and jaggery and garnish that with pumpkin seeds. So this is again very simple to make. And here for people who don't want to use jaggery powder and completely make it sugar free, then once the whole thing is done, and then you can probably add your artificial sweetener also. So you can completely make that sugar free. So this is something that can be easily incorporated. Again, a sweet potato halwa. So sweet potato has an innate sweetness. So you can take sweet potatoes which are boiled, peeled, mashed. You can take a little bit of ghee, half a cup of organic milk. You can have 2-3 tablespoons of powdered jaggery. Again, like I said, if you don't want to add jaggery, you can always replace that with the artificial sweetener, a little pinch of nutmeg, and 1 or 2 tablespoons of dry fruits which are chopped. So you boil the sweet potato in a cooker with enough water till it gets soft for 3 to 4 whistles. Once it is cooled to touch, you peel and mash it. Add a little ghee in the pan. Once it is hot, mix the mashed potato and cook till the all the moisture kind of evaporates. Then you can add your A2 milk. Again, nicely cook it till all the moisture goes away. Then you can mix in your jaggery, cardamom powder, your nutmeg powder, and continuously stir till it kind of leaves the sides of the pan, and the little ghee that you have put in, it starts oozing out. And then you can probably add your chopped nuts. So I hope you have found this session useful, and I'll stop sharing. You can probably we can open this for any kind of queries that we have. You
Thank you,
can either
Doctor.
raise your
Yeah.
hand, or you can put it in the chat, whatever helps.
So, thank you, Doctor, for the session. It was as insightful as the last session that we had. I'll just check if anyone of them have any doubts. Anyone have any doubts to ask the doctor? Huh? They have a doubt. What is A2 milk?
Yeah. So now there are a lot of versions of milk which is available, and the A2 milk is the milk which is more better. So that kind of milk is these days very popular, and this is something that you get also in the market. So you can definitely buy the A2 milk. The A2 milk benefits are that it has a better, supports your bone health better. And that is something that you can buy. It has less allergens, and it is kinder on the gut health. But the nutritional value of the A2 milk to the other milk is just the same.
Any other doubts anyone has?
And A2 milk also contains a specific amino acid which is called as proline, which is only found in A2 milk, which has a huge role to play in our gut health. So, yeah.
So that's about it, Doctor. I think
Hi everyone. Before we ask another question, I just had one thing to add. Can everyone quickly put out their phones and download the Cult app and do their logins? We have a lot of healthy recipes on the app, lot of home workouts on the app. You can follow such recipes at your home, at your own experience. Whenever you are free, you can check the app, you can can see all the recipes, different healthy snacks options, main meal option, the different workout options that we have, and you can surely check and see. And please ask your next question. Varsha is here with us.
So hope everyone has downloaded the Cult app.
You have a lot of exercise options, and the most of us find reasons not to exercise, and we always think that we don't have time to exercise. So here I would tell you that there are different formats of exercise, right from dance workouts to your yoga to strength-based workouts done by really renowned professionals, and it's practically available every half an hour. So there are recorded,
Yes.
pre-recorded, as well as live sessions. So you can
Live
definitely
workout.
do yeah. You can do
It's a
any
free
kind of
subscription for
exercise of
everyone.
your choice.
Yes, it's a free subscription for everyone. The company has already paid for you all. So kindly enjoy the benefits, activate your accounts, and please ask your next question. Thank you, Varsha, for helping.
So I think the employees are pretty clear. So I'll also follow up with them regarding downloading of the Cult app of Mini. And thank you, Doctor. Thank you for the insightful session.
Thank
And,
you.
I'm sure we are taking a small feedback as well from all the employees about the session. So I'll share that to the Cult team also regarding that.
All right. Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you so much for being there for the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mini. Thanks, Neha.